Hi everyone, welcome back to our winter page from Rita Berman's winter book. We are going to do the sort of leaves and berries and bits over here to start with today. So let's come in a little closer and get started. Let's see, where are we at? There we go. I'm going to leave it there so we can see all of that area. So let's start here with the berries. I think I'd quite like to do an orangey colour berry. So I'm going to start with the blood orange. I think I'd done some orangey colours already, but anyway. So I'm thinking a bit of a blood orange at the bottom and just fade it. These berries don't seem to be attached. I'm also wondering whether these three marks here, I think I'm going to do those as snow actually, because I did the ones above the bunny as snow, so I'm going to leave those for now. So that's my start to the berries, and I am going to, whoops, my pencil wants to run away, use a brownish yellow, the yellow ochre, to finish them off. So basically just going over them and taking that colour up. They look quite warm, which might not be ideal for a wintry picture day. Now the leaves on this one are quite small, so I'm going to grab my fern green, and I might only use this one colour, but I will see where it leads me. So I'm going to put quite a few layers down in the bottom of my leaf and then less towards the tip. I'm going to do that all the way along and see whether I think it, yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of another colour on the end. It's a little bit sparse, I think, colour-wise, so I'll add a bit more. Sometimes when it's really small you can't do that, it's just a bit too little, but I think we can, yeah, we can do that. It's such a fun page doing little elements. I think some people did this. I have a feeling, I might be wrong, some people might be able to correct me. I'm going to use the turmeric yellow for the tip, so I'm going to use a lot on the edge and then less as I go in. I think there's a Rita Berman colouring group on Facebook, and they did this page as their advent calendar, which is a really good idea. So I think what they tend to do is someone takes the page and numbers the various elements, and then the idea is to colour one a day through December. I think it's a great plan, because I suspect most people have done Rita's Advent page in this book already. Yeah, there's our leaves. Now we have this rather larger leaf here. Actually, I'm just going to do this snow. This is the periwinkle blue. I'm going to do it in exactly the same way as I did the snow above our bunny. So how I did it was I did it darker at the bottom and then lightened it as I went up. There we go, very quick and simple, but I didn't want to forget it. This leaf here, I want to try and do a different shade to these leaves, sorry. So I'm actually going to grab the coyote brown, which is a green, I think, and start with that, but it's sort of brownish green colour. And if I start with that, it obviously looks quite different, so I know I'm onto something a bit different. I'm going to start to fade it now up the leaf, and then we'll have an opportunity to add another colour in a minute, but it's quite nice to take it, if you take it all the way to the tip, it's much easier to blend it with it, whatever colour you choose. I am choosing the sage green, and this time we're going to do the reverse. So start at the tip with a dark layer and then do less as we go towards the centre of the leaf. And hopefully our colours will start to merge together. I think that's done fairly well. Now you can do several layers if you want to. I think what I am going to do is go over the top of the whole thing with the honey, and it will, oh, it's raining really hard, and it will help to merge them together and warm them just a little bit, but in a very different way to how we did it on that one. It won't look like the same colour. There we go. So there's that leaf. And now we have this nice berry cluster in the corner. It's tempting to do a similar colour berry. I think I will. I'm not going to use exactly the same colours. So I think, I'm going to stretch across. Start with the garnet red as my sort of base, deep base colour, and put that in at the bottom, and then spread that gently up, lightening as we go. Okay. And all the way through all the berries. Then we can add in the next colour. I don't know if you can hear the rain on the window. The microphone is pointing the other way, but it's quite loud. It's quite heavy. And I'm going to go back to that blood orange that we used before. Now I'm not going to start the top with a dark layer like I did with the leaf. I'm going to start the bottom with a dark layer because I still want to keep it lighter near the top. So I want less layers at the top. I think that works quite well. Even in such a small space, it's just worth taking your time and using a couple of colours sometimes. Makes a difference, especially when I've got so many different sets of berries, because it means we're not ending up making them all look too similar. And it's a good technique because if you haven't got many colours in your tin, you can mix them up in different ways to get slightly different colours each time, and that's rather fun as well as rather useful. Right, there are berries done. The leaf. I'm going to grab the forest green. I want to use different greens. I don't want to make it, if I wanted them to look the same, I would make them exactly the same. I want them all to look a little bit different. We've got a nice range of greens in our set, so might as well use them. So I'm going to use that. Quite a few layers near the bottom of the leaf, and then less as we go up here. I'm taking it all the way to the tip, but like I did with this leaf, I'm going to add another colour starting at the other end. So I need to build this up a bit more here, I think, because it sort of just stops there really, doesn't it? Just try and fade it. There, I'm happier with that. Now I want a lighter one. I think this time we will use the spring green. I did reject it in an earlier video because it wasn't quite what I wanted, but I think it'll work for this one. It seemed a little bit too bright for what I wanted, but this leaf I think can get away with that. It's got the darker colour underneath as well, which helps. So just, that's it. There is that one. Where should we go now? We could go down to this Christmas tree here. Let's make some space to move my book up a little. So this sort of pine tree, I guess it is. I said Christmas tree, but I hope you know what I meant. Let's grab, what should we grab? This green. This is the jade green. It's quite a dark green. We're going to use it for every other stripe of here. Now we need our blue for our snow in a minute, but I'm going to make it darker here and lighter towards the bottom, like that, and then do every other one. We'll grab a different green. I don't know whether it will be stripy, but it's drawn with stripes, so that's what I'm going to do. It's not like we're going for photorealism here, is it? So a darker layer here, trying to make it a little bit lighter as we go down. A little bit tricky when it's quite small. I've done my best. I'm going to do the same here. And just sort of try to gradually fade the colour as we go down the tree, or at least as we go through this section. Now I'm trying to decide with our bottom section whether to use this for the main dark area or not. Now I'm not going to, because we've got it's quite heavy in this colour here. So if we just use it on these bits, then we can use a lighter colour for the rest. I think it will work. Okay, now what we could do is something reasonably light. I think, in comparison, I think we'll use the basil green and use the same technique as we have been using, so a little bit darker here and then lighter. And you can see this lighter colour just brightens it up, which is nice. And our stripes, maybe try and be a bit lighter on that one, but it's a bit tricky. Just do your best. And here I am going to try to go from dark to light. I'm going to not worry about not colouring over these. I think they're so dark that a bit more colour isn't going to make a huge I mean, yes, to a very trained eye they would notice, but for this purpose I'm not worried. There we go. It makes it a lot easier to get it neat. I need a tree trunk. I'm going to use the espresso brown. And snow, periwinkle blue. So remember, with our snow we're leaving a little white edge around like that. Now these 4 leaves that are around our tree, I can't decide whether I would do them the same colour as the tree or different. There's another one here as well. Whether I do them all, I'm going to do them all different. So I'll grab my basil green for one of them. This one. And I'm just going to fade the colour towards one end a bit. There we go. I'm going to use my jade green for this one. You can't see it. There we go. Then I'm going to use my this spring green for this one. And the forest green for this one. This one's quite thick, hasn't been sharpened. I think we can cope. There we go. And we have these 3 circles. I'm going to do them like snow, like we did over here. You can't see. So darker at the bottom, lighter towards the top. Okay, I think we've done a fair bit. I'm trying to think what we've actually done. We've done this sort of berry area at the top, haven't we, really? So I think that's a fair bit done. So I shall leave it there for today. We've got maybe 1, maybe 2 videos left, so that's fun. So yes, for now, that's me for now. So thank you for watching. Yeah, tune in tomorrow for the next little bit. But for now, thank you very much and happy colouring.